Time isn't looping anymore. I can actually get back to living my life again. It's starting to look like things are turning around for the both of us.
Hey, Hallie!
I practically stopped dead in my tracks at the sound of her voice. I turned to face her. Blushing furiously, she shoves a piece of paper in my face.
Here!
And what is this?
You've got eyes, don't you? Just don't make it weird, okay? Alright, I'm off! I don't want to keep my dad waiting.
Before I can question her any further, she runs off at a brisk pace. I unfold the paper, and sure enough, it seems to be a phone number. Well then. Without really even trying, it seems like I managed to get a girl's number. How about that? I log the number into my phone and send a quick text message. Hey, it's Hallie. Here's my number, so you don't think I'm some kind of creeper. I put my phone away and make my way back home. I'm just about home when I feel a vibration from my pocket. I get out my phone to see the text notification.
Got it!
I guess that settles that. I put my phone away and make my way inside. Well, that was boring and pointless. Although I'll take boring and pointless over breaking into Natsuki's home like 50 times. I had dinner with Mom as usual and did whatever homework I had. I decided to sneak into the basement while Mom wasn't really paying attention to check on Natsuki's diary. Sure enough, it was still there, just as Yuri said it would be. Given the conversation I had with her, I don't think there'd be any harm in trying to learn a little more about Natsuki. Unlike Aiko, though, I can't make it obvious that I know her deepest, darkest secrets. Let me see here. Is there anything else about Kotonoha in here? Wait, what's this all about?
June 2nd, 2019. Dad, I tried making some of my special cupcakes for the both of us today in the hopes of cheering him up. A lot of my friends love them, so I figured he'd at least appreciate the thought. If he did, though, he didn't really show it on time and just mumbling of something that sounded like thanks. There's not much else to do in the house, so I want to try to work on keeping things neat and tidy so this place doesn't look like hell. The only problem is when I don't feel motivated enough to want to even do anything. Seeing all the beer bottles all over the place just kills my motivation even more. The more Dad drinks, the more sad and angry he gets.
Or perhaps sadder and angrier.
Honestly, I don't know what to do anymore. I used to have plenty of interests, but none of it means anything to me now, especially since I don't have anyone to share it with. Kato was probably the only person who I felt comfortable enough sharing baking tips with, but now even baking feels just empty. I don't even get the same kick out of reading the manga I love anymore. Nothing matters anymore. I don't want to do anything. Just leave me alone already. If Dad were to tell me to just die right now, I probably would, no questions asked. That's how fed up I am. That's all I can do. That's all I'm good for.
Christ. I know he had some screws loose, but this guy sounds like a real nightmare. I look at the date again. This entry and the next one were written just before the day, well, the day she was supposed to die. It's almost freaky thinking about it. I press onward.
June 3rd, 2019. I spoke to Hallie today. I don't even know why. Yeah, of all the things I could have done and all the people I could have gone to, I went to him. Yup. How desperate am I, right? He doesn't even mean much to me anymore or anything. He's just the guy who so happens to sit in front of me in homeroom. Maybe it's just some of the stuff Kotonoha used to say about him racking around in my mind or something. It's almost been a year since she passed away, and I've been thinking about her every so often. Well, whatever. I still spoke to him. I doubt he even knows I'm alive, but then again, hardly anyone in that school does aside from Amy and maybe Yuri. I mean, it's not like I asked him for this or his life story or anything, but he always looks so damn miserable whenever I see him. Part of me can't help but wonder if he might understand me. I probably sound like an idiot right now, but I know for sure he doesn't look like he's enjoying life right now. Neither am I, really, but probably for different reasons. I'd hate to imagine anyone going through the same BS I have to deal with. I wouldn't wish that on anyone else. Well, except maybe that one bitch named Becky, but let's not think about her. Anyway, I didn't tell him anything important since he doesn't know me and probably doesn't care about me. I didn't have anything in particular I wanted to talk to him about either. It's not like I'm worried about anything at all. It's nothing. I just asked him a random question. That's all. Nothing more and nothing less.
So, literally right up until the night before she was supposed to die. I still can't say if I understand you a little better or not yet, Natsuki. This is just a theory, but given that Kotonoha has been on the brain for both of us, I can't help but wonder if that played a part in why she talked to me. I'm about to close the book when I turn the page a bit and see something written. Wait, huh? That should be the end, right? This was the day she died. At least, that's what I tell myself, but I'm shocked when I turn the page and see another entry.
June 4th, 2019. I woke up as I usually did this morning. Dad was downstairs doing whatever. As I was scrounging up something to eat, he told me Amy's mom called me for something. She wouldn't tell him anything aside from letting me know to call her. I ended up calling and I asked her what was going on. I haven't really ever spoken to Amy's mom all that much since she seems very secretive and kind of strange if you ask me. She spoke in a super creepy tone the whole time. After asking me how I was, she cut to the chase and told me straight up why she called. Amy killed herself last night. I nearly dropped the damn phone. What? When I tried to ask her more, she didn't really say anything much. In fact, she sounded pretty damn calm for someone who just lost their only daughter. As if she already didn't seem like a creepy lady in the first place, that sealed the deal for me. She ignored all my questions and just asked me if I told her anything. Hell no! Why would I tell my friend to do something like that? There was a long pause before she told me thank you, that's all I needed to hear. Then she hangs up on me. What the actual hell? I went to school after that, but I had this whole thing weighing down on me the entire time. School was as boring as usual, but everything just felt so depressing, especially whenever I tried to look for Amy. Then I remembered that she wasn't there anymore. Why did you do it, Amy? What made you want to take your own life like that? None of this makes sense.
I feel a lump in my throat and I almost dropped the diary. I know what made Amy take her own life. I still wish it hadn't come to that, but I doubt Natsuki would understand why. There's still more to the diary entry. This one is surprisingly kind of long compared to the other ones, so I continue despite this awful pit in my stomach.
When it was time for homeroom, I was almost late. I could have honestly cared less about school today, given the mood I was in, but I lost track of time. I didn't even feel like coming today, but Dad told me I had to. Then again, I didn't tell him why I was feeling like crap in the first place, since I doubt he'd really care. I saw Hallie again, right in front of me as he usually was. I was a bit shocked when the teacher went up to the class and talked a little bit about Amy. He wouldn't say what happened, most likely out of respect for Amy's family or something, but I knew exactly why she wasn't there anymore. After he was done talking, he gave us a free period. Since Hallie was there with that same scowl on his face, I went up and apologized to him for being so random the other day. I figured that'd be the end of it, and he'd just think I was some weird girl and never want to speak to me again. I was surprised when he asked me about how I was feeling. We ended up having a decent conversation for the whole period. Honestly, I wasn't expecting him to even want to talk to me. Even if all we did was talk about some stupid stuff most of the time, it felt good talking to someone. I felt a lot better. Here, I thought he would be some sarcastic jerk about my feelings, but he actually sounded very understanding. I told him how empty Amy's death made me feel, and I questioned if I was a bad friend or something, but then he told me about this grandma passing away and how I felt numb to it at first. It seems like everything Kotonoha said about him was true after all. I heard people gossip about him, how he was just this insufferable asshole, and how no one liked him, but maybe they're all wrong. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Speaking of Koto, I remembered how close they were just based on how she talked about him in the past. It's kind of strange, don't you think? If Amy were here, she'd probably say something stupid like fate is strange that way. Well, Amy, seems like you were kind of right about that. I don't know when God's name possessed me to do it, but I even gave Hallie my phone number. Ugh, that had to have been one of the cringiest things I've ever done. I wasn't sure if he'd even text me or call me, but he did send me a little courtesy text so I'd have his number and not think he was a creep. Jeez, I still remember the rumors about the creep that was apparently stalking Koto. I hope I never go through that. Anyway, today started out like total crap, but I had a very nice surprise near the end. Maybe now I can see why Kotonoha liked this guy so much.
I closed the diary and placed it on my nightstand before rolling over into my bed. Yeah, that entry was a lot to take in. Aside from the fact that I shouldn't even be seeing it right now, there's quite a bit to process here. Well, Natsuki, I can't say whether or not I live up to your expectations, but for whatever reason, Natsuki reached out to me and has seemingly made it clear she is more than fine with me still being around. Considering what she's gone through, I don't have it in me to just be a total asshole to her, especially not after she indirectly went to me for help. I'm not sure if I'm tempting fate here, but maybe I'll just go along and see how things turn out. Overthinking about it right now isn't going to help anything. As far as I'm concerned, the day is over. I've done everything I can for now. Tomorrow is another day. With that, I turn off the lights and try getting some well-deserved sleep. June 5th, 2019. Today started out relatively normal. I made my usual walk to school, went through the first half of my classes, and now I'm here having lunch with Mio and Yuri. That's about the only thing that's changed with my daily routine. I can't really complain, though. Even if I'm not really talking all that much to them, it beats eating lunch alone in the cafeteria. I notice they're both still wearing the rings again, but I write it off as some kind of fashion statement.
How have you been, Hallie?
I'm jolted out of my train of thought for a moment. Can't complain.
Did you see Natsuki at all yesterday? Considering today is the 5th of June, surely it means everything went well.
Well, yeah. I saw her in homeroom yesterday. We actually talked quite a bit.
About what?
Well, considering she just lost one of her best friends and it's kind of my fault and all.
Hallie, you don't need to blame yourself. It's as I said before, no matter what you did, Amy was still going to do whatever she felt was necessary. Even at the cost of her own life.
Yeah, but I'm still the one who had the brilliant idea to call her and ask her what to do.
You said so yourself. You did whatever you could out of anxiety and desperation.
Well, whatever. Anyway, since everyone else was too busy to even give her some bit of sympathy, I guess I just felt kind of bad for her. She even gave me her phone number, of all things. Mio stifles a laugh. What?
Oh, nothing. Nothing at all.
Mio, you're a pretty terrible liar, you know.
Oh, come on, Hallie. There's no need to get so worked up. Yes, although I haven't spoken to Natsuki recently, it seems as though she really trusts you now.
That's the part that I don't get. I thought maybe her diary could shed some light on things.
Wait, you still have her diary?
Don't give me that look, Mio. It's not like I'm going to use it to blackmail her or whatever. I just wanted to see if I could understand what's going on with her better, that's all.
Oh, I see. Although I can't help but wonder why you've taken such an interest in her.
What's that supposed to mean? Mio and Yuri exchanged glances before looking back at me.
I was saying that since Natsuki's life has been saved, I presumed you would have simply moved on and had nothing else to do with her.
What? Well, I don't know. Yeah, why am I still so concerned about Natsuki? She's right. As far as I'm concerned, I did everything I needed to make sure she didn't die. It's like I kept telling myself before, she doesn't mean anything to me at all, right? Before I try to change the subject to avoid more embarrassment, I remember something. By the way, Yuri, when I was going through the diary, I figured it would have stopped at June 3rd. It didn't.
What do you mean?
I mean that I found a diary entry for June 4th that shouldn't have been there. At least, I doubt it would have been there when I got it. It talked about a lot of the things that happened yesterday, too.
Perhaps it's due to a paradox caused by the fact that we have two of the same object existing in the same timeline.
So what you're saying is...
Think of it this way. Only one of Natsuki's diaries should exist in this timeline. That's no longer the case, since he took it from a timeline that no longer exists and brought it into ours. Since Natsuki is still actively writing in her diary, she's effectively altering the condition of the object.
Okay, I think I get that part. But then, why am I seeing her diary entry after June 3rd? When I grabbed it, June 4th hadn't happened yet.
In other words, whatever she does to her diary affects the one that you have in your possession, because only one diary is meant to exist in this universe. That's why I called it a paradox. The diary you have is an irregularity in our timeline that shouldn't exist. Considering that it has a corresponding object in our timeline, however, you could say that it is linked to the diary Natsuki has with her. You could think of it as Natsuki having a text conversation with herself that you're able to view.
Huh, not that I'd do it, but do you think it could work both ways?
It's plausible to think that, although I'd highly advise against it unless you want to give Natsuki the scare of her life. It might make her think she has some kind of possessed magical book talking to her.
No, I wasn't intending on that. Okay, I get it now. So just thinking it out loud for a moment. This thing works almost as if I'm having a text conversation with her. Except instead of a phone, it's the diary.
Precisely. Wow, time travel is strange. Yes, these are all just my theories, however. Obviously, there are a number of fantasy and science fiction stories that have their own interpretations of how time travel works, so I can't say for sure.
There isn't any further room for discussion as the bell rings.
I'm readily available if you have any further questions or need any help, Hallie. I may not have the answer, but I'll do my best.
With that, the three of us get up and make our way to our respective classes. We never did much in homeroom anyway, but I'm a little surprised when the teacher decided to give us another free period to do whatever we wanted. Maybe it's thanks to the heavy atmosphere of a student passing away and he's just showing some courtesy. Or maybe it's because we're so close to the end of the school year and he could care less about what we do. That doesn't mean he cares a little, though. Can't say for sure. To the shock of absolutely no one, everyone goes off to do their own thing. Oh well, the world goes on with or without you, right, old man? That's what you told me.
Hey!
I turn around and once again have a lot of pink in my vision. Something up?
No, not really. I just...
For whatever reason, she trusts me now, just like Yuri said. It looks like she's okay turning to me, even if she's not going to be straightforward or tell me what she's feeling. Straightforward can be one word. It might all be very confusing, but I don't want to be a complete asshole to her and shut her down. Thinking about the diary entry from last night, that's the last thing I want to do to her. How are you holding up?
I'm still not over it. About Amy, I mean.
I'd be kind of shocked if you were.
And what's that supposed to mean?
I mean, you just lost an important person in your life, right? That kind of thing leaves some deep emotional scars on you. At least, I wouldn't think it's the kind of thing where you wake up and you feel like everything is sugar-coated rainbows.
I guess that's true. It still doesn't help that I've been feeling like crap.
I wish I knew how to fix that. If you ever figure out something, feel free to let me know.
Huh. So what about you then?
What about me?
Well, it's not like I care or whatever, but it sounds like you've been down in the dumps a lot lately. I know Amy used to point that out to me.
Wait, so was she actually spying on me?
Huh?
I mean, I always had the feeling someone was looking at me. I just had no idea who it was. That conversation with Amy never happened, you idiot. Don't blow your cover.
I wouldn't say spying on you, but she was kind of fascinated by you for some reason. At least that's what she would tell me. Basically, whenever she saw you, she didn't know what she was feeling, but she never felt that way about anyone else except you.
That's not concerning at all. That pervert.
Don't let it get to you or whatever.